Dios mío, man. Liam and me, we're gonna fuck you in the ass Saturday. We're gonna fuck you Wednesday instead. Oh, okay. Is that what you've been waiting and wimping for, D? A food? A little turd. What a complete and utter little turd. Gotta love him, though. Gotta love a little turd. Looking fly. Hello, good evening. Welcome. Give us your wisdom, old salt lord. Well, my wisdom is, don't go to fucking England. No. I don't know. I don't know that I have any wisdom for you today. I think all my wisdom is dried up. You have anything to declare? Yeah, don't go to fucking England. Looking like mushroom Jesus? Okay. Whatever you say. Gonna buy the rotting Pelosi shirt. I do like that shirt. The Pelosi zombie head shirt. It's pretty cool. You have the best shirt game. I know. I know, right? I've been collecting t-shirts for a long time. And I just use them like a utility, but I realize that a lot of them are pretty cool. I've got a lot of pretty cool t-shirts. Howdy. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Good afternoon, I guess. I'm hoping it's afternoon now. I'm hoping that it doesn't get any hotter as the sun is going down, because if it stays right here, I should be okay. But if it goes up a point or two, we're quitting out of this one too. That's just the way this is gonna be. That's the way this is gonna go down now. It's too fucking hot. Too hot to get any hotter. That's for fucking sure. Hell fucking yeah, baby. I was about to go grab something to drink. See, this is why you get married, folks. Wife met me at the door and was like, would you like a big, tall, frosty, partially frozen Arnold Palmer? I was like, yes, I would like that. Single dudes in shambles. Single ladies in shambles. Get you a wife. A beautiful wife. Hell fucking yeah, baby. A little bit of country came out, I'm sorry.
Okay.
As a single, you're right. I know. Trust me, I know. It's another one of those things that I'm just correct about. You know, nothing I can do about it. I can't uncorrect it. It's going to be correct whether I say it or not, you know. I may as well say it. Get you a wife. Find yourself a nice person, wife or husbando them up quickly and early. I made my spouse some homemade strawberry agua fresca. Look at you, you fucking stud. Look at you. You gotta stop though, because now Amelia's like looking at me like, where's my fucking agua fresca?
No.
Just kidding. Where's my agua fresca, you loser? Love from the UK. Hello, UK. Love from Cali. California love. Ooh. Quick and early is a terrible idea. I got married at 18 to my first wife. Okay, I didn't mean like that quick and that early. I just meant if you're an adult and you're alone and you meet somebody.
Yeah, don't stay engaged for 5 years
Yeah.
like some people do.
Don't do the dating game until she gets tired of waiting and goes on somewhere else. If the time is now, the time is now. Wife it up. Wife it up. What could possibly go wrong? No, people got to make mistakes in their lives. I believe that. I think mistakes are life's greatest teacher. And I wouldn't trade anything for my first marriage. That the experience of that put me right in tune with what it is I really wanted, and I wouldn't change that for shit. It was crazy. It was painful, but it was a teachable moment that I will never forget. Those glasses are swaggy. Thanks. I just got them because they're comfy. And they look pretty good on my big ass face. I need big ass glasses. If like a person with a smaller head put these on, they'd look like big old librarian lady glasses, I think.
You think you're gonna do those frames until they bust, or you think look at like upgrading in a few years?
See? The new frames. Like, these frames are very comfortable for me. And they're lightweight, which I like. I was afraid my glasses were going to be heavy. So the lenses are kind of thick. But they've clearly done something different. Remember my dad's glasses when I was a kid weighing like 5 pounds. Just like... And they were always like...
Did he have metal frames?
Yeah, well, back then, everybody did.
Yeah.
Well, he had to work, so he had metal frames with the hooks that went behind his ears.
Yeah.
And I swear, the way they wore those, when I would pick them up, they were just wobbly.
Yeah.
Like, they were just like... Really want a Pessimist Productions plus the Deprogram collab, but will probably never happen. I don't watch the Deprogram, but I don't mind collabing with people. I don't know whether it would end up being an argument or a glaze session or both. I don't know. I don't know the guys or the girls. Paul, were you at the River Park Mall in Fresno a couple months ago? I think I saw you. Yeah, I probably was.
We've gone a handful of
That's where we
times.
go to the movies.
Yeah.
So a couple months ago, we might have been there for Dune. Or what else did we see over there? We've seen a bunch of stuff over the months, right? Killers of the Flower Moon in the winter.
Yeah.
We saw Napoleon in the spring. We saw Dune when it came out in the very, very early or late spring. And then we were just there for Midsummer on Midsummer's Day. So, yeah, you probably saw me. Why didn't you, like, run up? I'm not an asshole. Should have run up, dapped me up, and took a picture. In the UK at 2 a.m. smoking trash weed. This man living the life, looking like JB, smoking the good stuff. I mean, that's California for you, though, dude. I couldn't find trash weed if I wanted. Like, let's say I'm some fucking weirdo that just wanted to pay like $2 a gram and I wanted some Mexican dirt weed. I wouldn't be able to find it in the state of California. Like, we don't even make it here. People don't even bother bringing it in. Like,
You'd have to go to Mexico to get it.
maybe not Mexico, but you'd have to go down into Texas.
Yeah.
You'd have to go down into Texas where people are muling in brick pack. Or Louisiana. The Louisiana weed when we were down there, now that the statute of limitations is up, can I just say, dog shit. Wet, not sticky, moist.
Like they try to rehydrate it or something.
I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was not good weed. And I had to smoke a fucking meal of that shit just to get straight. Nah. Go see Furiosa if you can. We were gonna, but
there was only like 2 showtimes.
Yeah, Furiosa's not doing well, guys. I don't think it's gonna be in the theater much longer, and we couldn't get it in IMAX. Like we couldn't get it. It was only in normal size theaters.
And it was only
and it was like
11 a.m. or 10 p.m.
Yeah, they had 2 showings a day. So we were gonna go to the late showing of Furiosa, but then Amelia was looking through and she saw, oh, Midsummer special showing with 20 minutes of extra footage never before seen. Let's go see that. And we did, and it was better. I think I like that better than Furiosa, or that I would have liked Furiosa. But I've heard very mixed shit about Furiosa. I've heard, yeah, you know, TJ said it got like 2/3 of the way to as badass as Fury Road, which is pretty fucking good. But I've heard people say that it's like mid, like extraordinarily mid. Furiosa streaming now? Yeah, I don't know who picked it up though. We've got Netflix and Peacock right now, and I'm guessing it's probably neither of those. I've heard from people that, especially you put it up next to Fury Road, and it's midder than mid can be. I don't know who to believe. You know, it'd be worth seeing, but by the time we got around to like wanting to go see a movie, like if it was a huge movie, it would still be in 5 screens over there.
Yeah.
Like if it was Knock and Bank, like it did not come out that long ago, a couple weeks ago, it would still be in 2 or 3 screens doing all day shows over there, and they'd probably still have an IMAX reserved for a couple of shows. The fact that they got it on 2 screens and they're doing morning and closing, not a good look. So whether it's a good movie or not, the audiences don't like it. That doesn't always mean I'm not gonna like it, but that audience score is meaningful. You know, like I am the audience. I'm not somebody floating above the audience because I'm a film buff. I'm a dude that likes movies, that goes to the movies to see a good movie. That's what everybody's seeing in there is, and the people that have done that have not liked this movie. Doesn't mean I won't. A lot of times the public doesn't like a movie, and I really do.
You just like, fuck it, do I want to take the chance spending 30, 40 bucks?
Well, you know, we always are looking at the movies, right? And that movie theater we go to, we'll do, like every week, here's The Goonies, here's some old 80s or 90s classic movie in the big screen, right? And we've never done it. We've never taken advantage of that. And then we saw it this time, and there was really nothing else we wanted to see. It was like Furiosa if we could catch it, but we'd rather not be over there at 11 a.m., and we'd definitely rather not be over there till 2 a.m. So it's like, you know, it just worked out. But now that we've done that, I want to do that more.
Yep.
If we look at the movies and there ain't shit planned, but they're doing a couple of fucking special showings of a good old movie that I haven't seen up on big screen or that you haven't seen at all, fuck it, let's do it.
Man, the energy in there was cool.
Dude, it wasn't as energetic as I thought it was going to be, but you could tell it was a room full of fans, and that was nice. I thought we were going to get some applause at the end, but no, we didn't. We didn't get the applause at the end. People, but that is also a movie, I think it leaves people not, even if you've seen it,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, what do I do with this?
Yeah.
It's kind of the point of it, I think. Like, how do I feel about this? Am I happy for the girl that she found the family that she lost? Am I
Feel bad for all the people that died?
Do I feel awful for all the people that died, even though they were stupid? Do I feel like she's gone insane? And that they finally, like, brainwashed her by dosing her with, like, mushrooms and doing all weird rituals and shit? Or was this, like, that conversation that she has with the guy that's from there, where he asks if she felt held by her boyfriend. Do you feel held by him, Danny? I'm wondering if it's that, like she her whole life she doesn't fit. right? That's at the beginning of the movie is about Danny doesn't fit in. And it's because Danny's got emotional problems. Danny doesn't know how to handle her life. Danny gets overwhelmed, and it pushes people away from Danny. That's the beginning of it. And so she doesn't fit in our society. And she comes to this other one, and she's almost more violently repelled by it than most of the others. The only two people that freak out harder than her are those visitors, the London people. When they see the Ada Stupa, they're like, you know, freaking out. But she freaks out longer than they do. I mean, it destroys her. And then we got to see that night ritual, which was out of the first movie. We didn't get, you know, and that she's even more disturbed by that, right? And make rightfully so, because, you know, one of them was an act of ritual suicide, but was, you know, entirely consensual, and the other one is just like almost drowning a child, basically, for no reason. But does she realize that those people are closer to her than she is to the people that she brought with her? Came with? It's one of those movies, right? Like, I don't know where she is at the end of it. That smile could mean a number of things. It could just be the mushrooms kicking in and her having a moment of uncontrollable, like, euphoria about that her boyfriend being fucking taken care of. You know what I mean? And plus, we don't know, like, remember this too. This is a point I thought about. You remember all the pictures, right? Yeah. Oh, these are the May Queens. These are the May Queens. These are the May Queens. This is last year's May Queen. We never meet her. So we don't know that if after this bear burning thing, the final day of the fucking ritual isn't slaughtering the May Queen. How do you feel about kissing the fellas? I'll kiss a fella.
Kissed a few fellas.
Yeah, I've kissed quite a few fellas.
Well, but, Pimp Monk, TJ, and Tommy, or
Pimp Monk, TJ, Tommy, a guy named Kevin in high school for a scene, a kid named John, and another kid named John in middle school and earlier. Those are my boy kisses. One of them for a show, so I don't really count that. And Pimp Monk was for demonstration and fun, so also a show. But Tommy just grabbed me up and swept me off my feet and gave me a full tender kiss. Strong kiss. An undeniable kiss. Goddamn, Daddy, I love you. All right, yes. Have you seen game footage of Silent Breath? No. See? Bad questions. They're flowing. Have you seen this? Have you watched this? These are terrible questions, y'all. These are the types of questions that we say poo-poo to around here, because they are yes and no questions. And the answer to the last 5 that have come up is no. So it would have been a waste of my time to read them all. I read too many of them already. It's okay to ask if I like to do something, or if there's some kind of, like, it's better to ask open-ended questions, and it's tough. Damn, Chris Stapleton, where's the next album? Dude, I wish I was fucking Chris Stapleton. How rich that motherfucker is, bro. I'll take the money. Dude, if I look so much like him, please give me money. I'd love to be rich just like him, too. Paul, have you noticed your concept of time changing as you get older? Yeah, maybe. I mean, I remember when I was young that I felt like time flew, like, or no, that time went by real slow. Like in the summer, The reason I would get so stoked for summer vacation is because like 2.5 to 3 months was forever when I was a kid. It was like the vacation is never going to end. It's like as soon as you get out, you just feel like, dude, I don't even have to fucking think about school for like years. And it felt that way too when I was a kid. Some of my strongest memories that I have from being young, like adolescent or younger, right? Pre-18, are from those summer periods where I just have memories of summer days. Like I can remember a day that I woke up and my parents were at work and my sisters were gone and I was alone in the house. And I went out and I turned on the TV and I scrolled through and I saw Wimbledon was on. And I sat there for like 6 hours that day watching Wimbledon, popping outside to smoke a little roach that I'd taken from the party and watching Wimbledon all day. And it was my day,
Yeah.
right? I didn't know, nobody could gainsay me on it. And as a kid, once you first start to get that feeling, it feels good, you know? But I remember that feeling being like, man, this will never end. And then I remember, like, you know, when that last month of summer rolled around, even then you felt like, dude, we got forever still. But then that last week, the dread, the
We have to do all the
nervousness.
school shopping.
Mom's
all-
gonna be fucking hitting me up to go get me a new pair of pants or two and a new pair of shoes for fucking school and get me pencils for school. And I'm gonna have to meet a bunch of new people at school, and I wonder which teacher I'm gonna get. I hope I don't get Miss Fishkin because she's mean. Miss Fishkin was mean too. She was a good teacher, but she was mean.
Do you think the whole like school supply shopping is kind of exploitative? Like, you think that should be
Also,
something that school
yes.
districts should make more of a budget for?
Yeah, kids shouldn't have to, because like a lot of kids are not lucky enough to have parents that have a job that allows them to spend a couple $100 a kid getting a new pair of pants and shoes, a couple new shirts.
Well, I mean, like the other stuff, like the calculator.
Yeah, well, yeah,
the fucking-
pencils, pens, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like you get your kids, they have to wear something to school. Once you've spent that, most parents are tapped. And a lot of poor little kids don't even get that. They wear hand-me-downs and stuff that don't fit right. So it's like those kids have no chance. But teachers,
A lot of times fill the gaps.
well, that's the thing. A lot of people don't know this about teachers, but teachers spend hundreds of dollars of their own money, never reimbursed, to buy paper, notebooks, pencils, and pens for all the little kids that can't afford them. And that all comes out of their budget. If they ask the school for it, the school will tell them, sorry, that's not in the budget. And so they have to do it. It's sad. It's like a way of taxing teachers, which fucking sucks. Teachers shouldn't be out of pocket for anything in their
Well, I
classrooms.
remember there were some years they told the kids that could afford it to get extra
Yeah.
full for
Yeah.
all the other kids.
Yeah, they used to tell us that too.
Yeah.
They used to sell pencils in like the big fucking like roll
Yeah.
with a rubber band around it, like 50 of them or 25 of them or whatever it was. And they'd tell us to get that specifically. They would
Yeah.
give moms a list. Like a mom would get a list in the mail of like, here are the best deals in town where you can get them. And we're asking if you can, because it's cheaper,
Yeah.
get these so that your kid can throw a few in the pile for kids that can't afford them. And we would do that, yeah. I would bring my big roll of pens, pencils and pens. I'd take 2 or 3 out, and, you know, get me through the fucking semester at least, and then the rest of them would just go in the communal pile. Same thing with like crayons and stuff. Because when I was in 1st and 2nd grade, they wanted us to bring crayons, and it's like those were expensive. Those are like a toy.
Especially like how many colors they ask you to get.
Yeah, they ask you to get the like 64 color pack,
Yeah.
so you can do your crayon stuff. I was very poor growing up. Teachers definitely helped me out with supplies. Yeah, but people don't know that teachers do that. That people shit talk teachers all the time, but teachers are some of the fucking unsung heroes of our world.
But there are some teachers that are.
Yeah, some of them don't give a shit. Not every teacher. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Every school I ever worked at had at least 2 or 3 teachers that I would say were exceptional, indispensable to children, and they work their asses off.
They usually buy all those little decorations in their classrooms too. The school doesn't give them a budget for the fucking letters and maps and shit.
Yep.
For them.
Yep. They do get a classroom budget, but typically, from what I've heard teachers talking about, a lot of it goes to basic like upkeep of their unit.
Like, oh, I gotta get new chairs because this one's busted.
It's not even new chairs. It's like I gotta get curtains.
Yeah.
Because otherwise sun's going to be streaming in here all fucking year and it's going to be distracting. So I've got to rig up some curtains for myself because there's just no curtains. I've got to install a whiteboard. It's in here, but I don't know what wall it goes on. They leave one in every room and then maintenance takes them down at the end of the year so people can move shit around. So I've got to hang that up myself. And if it's not big enough, I've got to go buy another one and hang that up too. You know, you maybe have a big stain on your carpet. You want to get one of those little like Kinder rugs or something cool to put over it so it doesn't look all dismal in there. That comes out of your ass. School ain't got no money for that.
Got money for all of them Chromebooks, though.
Oh, they got that. That was such a shame. And it was like I would have been stupid to open my mouth, but I did it anyway.
Yeah.
I just didn't open it high enough, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think I should have gone straight to the fucking superintendent if I really felt the way I did. But I went to my boss's boss, and I said, you know, I'm installing Chromebooks, sir, in some rooms that don't have the electrical capacity for Chromebooks because they were wired up in the 70s. I said, wouldn't this money be better spent getting these kids some classrooms to sit? I understand what you're saying, budgetary concerns and blah, 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 but a lot of people tend to agree, but there's a budget for technology and there's a budget for maintenance, and those are two different budgets. And he explained to me, and I believed he was telling the truth. The tech budget has to be spent. It has to be justified or it gets cut.
Yeah.
It's like a police budget.
Or any government budget.
Right.
Like, have you heard of the spending sprees at the end of the quarter where they buy big...
Oh, yeah.
desks
I took
of-
part in them. Tech spending sprees at the end of the quarters were common because money that wasn't spent for other shit, if they overran or underran a cost, we got that money almost 99% of the time. And it would be end of the year, we've got 35 grand, what can we do? Or we've got 110 grand, what do we buy? Not, how do we get this to the kids? How many more projectors can we put in the fucking thing? How many more extra Promethean boards can we stash? It's like, okay, yeah.
Server banks or
Yeah.
whatever.
The old server out at fucking Sierra Vista, we can replace that now. We can get a new blade with that money. That's what it went to, and some of it was not like unnecessary, but a lot of it was. Arts budget slowly disappearing. Yeah, by the time I worked at the school district between 2008 or 2007 and 2015. By that year, the schools didn't have art anymore in them. There were no choirs. There were no little acting classes in the middle schools or the elementary schools like there were when I was a kid. We had little classes. These motherfuckers. I've had enough. It's time to bring out the fucking big swatter. Big stepper. Come on. You wanna come on? No, he's stopping. I'm gonna be swatting some flies. Because these flies are getting out of control. How did he escape that? Can somebody tell me that? Because that was some bullshit. I
Did
should
you
have.
see that comment on the other stream that's like, flies are pollinators, frowny face?
They're what are called incidental pollinators. They're not active pollinators. Flies don't eat pollen or nectar or collect it. So they're what's called incidental pollinators. They may land on a flower and they may land on another flower, but they may never. They may their whole life dumpster eating
Also,
dog poop.
They're like the bottom of the food chain. So most of them just get ate. There's less things to eat them now.
Well, they're getting zapped out of the air today.
Like,
They got a different kind of predator on the loose today.
Those little kitty cats have probably killed a lot of birds that would normally eaten these flies.
Yeah. Get fucker. I've caught a couple of you out of the air now. I just realized I got to do a fast sweep up and away from you. But I'm gonna catch one of you motherfuckers. I got a double kill in midair the other day.
Yeah.
Flies trying to like mate.
Yeah.
They were like, I went, whack. Got them both. Gotta get a new bug assault. I know. Well, I'm hoping where I might be moving, or where I am moving. My grandma used to have a thing in her old house that would electrocute bugs if they flew close. Yeah, it's just like a bug lamp. They glow blue. Yeah, it's like a nighttime bug lamp. You can put it out, and insects are it keeps like night bugs off of you. It's not great for flies, but it keeps like, you know, mosquitoes and moths and stuff at bay. Especially out in the country, you can get swarms of like midges. Or, what are those ones that come out a couple of times a year? The fucking mayflies? Cicadas, those types of things. Those things, those little, pretty much everybody when I was growing up that lived out in the country had one of those on their porch. And you just plug it in at night. Glowed like bright blue. You've seen them? And then
That's more about getting them not in your house. If you're just hanging out outside.
Yeah, keeping them off of you and killing them. June bugs, and the further out in the country you get, the obviously the more dense they are.
I can't do this heat right now, babe.
I don't blame you. Like I told them, if it gets any hotter than this right here, I ain't gonna be able to do it. Just lived in a small rural town, so that makes sense. Yeah. YouTube security is banned. Get them out. Watch me prove that you're not YouTube security. Do people really fall for that shit? Have you guys ever seen a streamer fall for that? They're like, YouTube security. YouTube security. Has that ever happened? I've never seen that happen, but I'm not a big streamer watcher. I'm a streamer doer. Fuck. And get unbanned when they give your old channel back. Yeah, serious. Unban Paul's ego. Hashtag Paul did nothing wrong. They don't give a fuck. They were probably happy to rid their platform of me. And I worry about this too, because there are some times when I'm up in that algorithm and people are scrolling through here, popping in here, and I'm just like, they're gonna watch and listen to me and find some fucking reason to ban this too. That's just the way that, like, that's that YouTube PTSD. When you make your money on YouTube, you get PTSD because YouTube will just take your money for no reason one day. You'll be like, damn, I can't wait for payday. And then you'll find out that payday's not coming. You're like, oh. Disclaimer, a drunkard here, a chat gypsy, a harmless trowel may offend. Just making my rounds. May play devil's advocate. Not sure. Okay, cool. Keep it chill. We like devil's advocates. I don't know if we're going to talk anything devil's advocatable. But yeah, keep it chill and you'll be fine. I'm the only one that's allowed to get gassed up around here, okay? That's the rule. We are here for mutual relaxation. And there's nothing you can do about it. I miss listening to the OG channel and playing GTA. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I bet I would be a good thing to tune in for GTA. I should pipe a little, like, cool techno music behind me, like some fucking vaporwave or whatever. Or some synthwave. Some, like, 80s synthwave. And then I'd be, you know, I could be your channel on GTA 6. How's it going, everybody out there in Liberty City? This is Paul's Ego. I hope you're doing well. We are here, as always, to talk about what? Well, that's up to you, isn't it? Because you decide the topic. You pick my brain. If you could bring any one person from history back from the dead and healthy, who would it be? Nobody. I hate these questions. I would never drag somebody out of non-existence and bring them into this fucking smoldering, fallen hellhole. Like, yeah, look at what your fucking hard work wrought. They would fucking be terrified and saddened when they figured out that they had to go back to non-existence. It'd be fucked, bro. I wouldn't do that shit. Let the dead stay dead, man. Sometimes dead is better. You guys ever heard that? That's the truth. How about Martin Luther King? Nope. No, sir. Nope. Martin Luther King gets to rest along with John Lennon and JFK and everybody else. I think a lot of those people would be tragically disheartened to see what the world has become. It would be not a fun visit for them, I don't think. Fuck. Can you imagine if John Lennon came back? Oh my God, dude. Talk about breaking a fucking dead man's heart. It's much better to be gay now. That is one positive point in a world of negative points. Watching videos of people's Ring door cameras catch at night, it's fucking crazy. I know. That's a whole different thing, dude. For me, it's like, I don't want to know what's going on out there. I have locks against that shit. The idea of turning my house into a crazy, like, surveillance state where I got, like, 8 cameras that I'm watching furtively on my phone every time I'm out of the house or laying in bed at night. Bro, that does not sound good to me. That sounds like that sounds like bad news bears to me is what it sounds like. That sounds like Paul, who already has a tendency towards paranoia. All right, people, longtime watchers will know this about me. I'd be paranoid as fuck. I can't have that shit, bro. Loser? That's fucking mean, Beluga. That's very mean that you came by and the first thing that you decided to say to a guy that's just chilling is a loser. I do pretty well for myself. Not to fucking flex or whatever. But even if I didn't, man, why would you want to hurt somebody's feelings? Kind of mean, bro. That's what I'm talking about, though. Like the hate machine that we've spun up. You know, it's a good example. They always come at good times. They always seem to be illustrative when they come. It's like, look at the fucking hate machine that we've spun up that we can't stop now. Or people are so fucked up that, like, what they get off on is ruining somebody else's good, yucking someone's yum all day. As you millennials and fucking shit say. Like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna find people's yum and I'm gonna yuck it all day. It's like, oh, that's sad. No, I mean, happily married, financially secure, philosophically thoughtful, definitely checks all the boxes for a loser. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to flex because I don't believe in losers. I believe in people that have had a path through life that led them to be okay and people that didn't. You know, I didn't have a whole lot of choice in the matter. I was kind of swept along. Like everybody is. Very few people are captains of their own destiny. Can't imagine people like that having any real friends, but they do, Nugs. That's the thing, is like these people, we like to think of them as like all just like hateful little spiteful basement dwelling mom-el living trolls, and it's fun to think of them that way, but the truth of the matter is that might have been a businessman. That might have been somebody who is married with children, and you know, in fact, there's a good chance of that. Anonymity does strange things to people. It puts people in a weird headspace, you know? And that could have been that. Like maybe that guy is a worker, right? And he sees me doing this and thinks like, what a loser. Why don't you got a job? Or whatever, right? And that's the way he gets it. Like that's the way he gets his jollies. It's the way he yucks the yum. That was actual YouTube security this time. Dun, 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 dun. The level of disdain whites have towards blacks and blacks have towards whites now is insane. Bro, I don't know what 90s you grew up in, homeboy. But it's always been kind of bad, man. Yeah. Yeah. Black and white relations, like race relations in this country, have been pretty fucking nasty for a while. And I would say, if anything, getting better. Because you know what I see that gives me hope about the young generation? Because it ain't the fucking broccoli top. It ain't them bringing back the mullet. I see racial diversity and I see racial, like, harmony. Like, a lot, bro. Like, yeah, the 90s were race riots. Like, people don't understand. Like, the Rodney King riots were race riots. And so we're not much different. You know, we had the George Floyd riots not that many years ago. And it was the same sentiment. One black man too many. One shitty cop stop too many. One black man beaten almost to death, or in George Floyd's case, to death. It's just a sign of really sick relations between the public and the people that are supposed to protect it, between black people and white people, right? If anything, I see a little progress on that front. People are talking more about racial justice now than I ever heard about it in the 90s. Dude, I live right next to what was a sundown town until the 90s. Clovis, California. You can look it up. Was a sundown town into the late 80s. It's fucking 5 miles from me. So I don't think race relations were any more chill back in the 90s. I think that you just had more ways to ignore it, maybe? More impetus to ignore it? Less connection to it? Now you're seeing more of it because of social media and the 24-hour news cycle and stuff. I'd say that's probably the truth. My parents used to freely use the N-word at home until I confronted them about it, and they stopped around me, but they're Paul's age. My mom is 47. It's not new. Yeah, there are a lot of people my age are racist as fuck, and were raised to be racist as fuck. I'm very lucky. My parents were labor people, and they did have some racist fucking ideas and jokes and silly shit that they would say and all of that. But at the end of the day, they went to work right next to Hispanic folks, right next to black folks, right next to queer folks, right? And shoulder to shoulder with them stood in solidarity and hard work. And they set aside all that bullshit to work together within the union, for better or for worse. So, yeah, I was very lucky to live in that environment because there were a lot of people, parents didn't have to work with black folks and never would have a black person over at their house and never would allow their kids to hang around with Mexicans. All that existed when I was a kid. Like, all of that existed when I was a kid. There were little white supremacist, like, gangs that would tag shit up in my little town. Like, this idea that there was some sort of, like, harmony that's dissolved is just not true. It's just that, like, we never healed the wound. We never shook off the curse. That's Brother Ali. Yeah. Enslaved and chained up a workforce, but never healed the wounds or shook the curse off. Come on, Paul, have a laugh. You're banned. My grandma lets the N-word slip out every once in a while. Makes me wonder what she says in private. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people out here whispering. You know that's true. Woo! Pass that shit over here. Bitch, I'm trying to disappear. Everybody got to hating on me last year. Yeah, that was last year. Now I'm blowing past, yeah. All my brothers, they stay smoking on that gas, yeah. Pass that shit over here. Bitch, I'm trying to disappear. I would never switch up on my brothers. I put that on my mother. I would never switch up on my brothers. I put that on my mother. Would you start smoking the ganja? I was 13 first time I smoked out, and I never stopped. I was like, this is a necessary component. I could never switch up on my brothers. I put that on my mother. That's a little known song by a pretty popular artist. Surprised nobody called it out. Anybody know what I'm quoting? Anybody know the artist? Somebody's gonna go Google it. It's not even fair at this point. Is blood thicker than water, or is it a case-by-case basis? Thank you, Lil Peep. Darude Sandstorm, you got it. No, it's case-by-case. The whole blood is thicker than water shit is meant to keep people in abusive relationships oftentimes. Keep people unhappy, keep people chained to the will of others. It doesn't mean that you can't give deference to your family. In fact, you should. I do. But if one of my family members is hurting me consistently, then that family member goes bye-bye forever. I never speak to them again. All right? That's how thick blood is for me. You're my family, and I'm there to help you. But if you are a drain on my existence, not like in need, but in attitude or whatever, yo ass is fucking gone. I don't have time. I don't keep that around me, and I don't give a fuck how thick blood is. Yep. Blood is thicker than water when both people in the relationship treat it like that. But when you've got one person abusing the fuck out of another person and that person just letting them happen because it's their mom or their dad or their brother or something, fuck that. Nope. I don't put up with that. Yeah, that's manipulative and shitty. Yeah, I mean, I didn't choose my family and I didn't have a hand in creating it, so you get as much deference as I get from you. I'm sorry to be selfish about it, but that's the way it is, man. I don't have any lopsided shit in my life. You know, I've talked about this before, and I don't mean to repeat myself for those of you that are here, but I reached a point in my life where I realized I had a whole lot of lopsided relationships. A whole lot of relationships that I put a whole lot of work into maintaining and nurturing and being there for those people. And then when the chips were down and I needed just one person, I had nobody, right? Kind of hard not to confront that. And so, that's why I said earlier, I would never take back my divorce. I would never take back that relationship because it was such a fucking learning experience for me. That relationship ultimately was responsible for teaching me a bunch of life lessons that I will carry with me to the grave. I'm thankful that I had that. But yeah, hard lesson, but true. You've got very little time, and people want to manipulate, and people want to use, and there are just a lot of vampires out there, man. And you've got to guard your own neck or else be sucked dry. That's just the way it works. And I'm not even talking about money. I'm talking about love and care and concern. Back out to give it another sauna sit.
Yeah, I'll try. Really, the debate is going to stream on Peacock too, so I wonder if that'd be more stable than CNN.
Maybe, but see, my problem is like we have to talk about who we're going to put this out to.
Yeah.
Because in the past, watching the debate will get people fucking nuked. We've gotten the channel nuked right in the middle. So do we want to do it live, or do we want to do just like a lead up stream and then have people come see it?
Yeah, like you could do like the
patron.
Yeah, patron webinar.
But like we're meeting before, so we'd
Yeah.
have to do it pretty fucking quick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. It's really all kind of fucking by the seat of our pants anyway, because we don't, like, I don't think anybody knows if this is actually happening, if it'll be on time, if it's going to get punted. If it does, I get fucking paid. Is Project 2025 real? People keep asking about 2025. Can I tell you guys something, man? I'm not trying to fucking downplay the shit that's in there. There's a lot of gross fucking fascist Republican, anti fucking people, pro-capitalist bullshit, kind of sexist, gendered, racial bullshit. Yeah, it's not good, right? But here's the but, right? It's not new. Nothing in Project 2025 isn't something that mainstream Republican candidates haven't run on in the past. They've been trying to turn the fucking government into a theocracy forever. They've been trying to get unitary executive power forever. And they've gotten a lot of it. You know, George W. Bush fucking tearing down the clause in our Constitution that says that wars have to be approved by both houses of Congress. That's gone now. The president has wide latitude to start a war with another country with no approval. And so, you know, yeah, they've been seeking these kind of things. It's kind of, like I said, injection of religious fervor into the political process and the kind of moving towards a national religion, nationalizing Christianity and putting it throughout our fucking system and infrastructure and bureaucracies. These are not new ideas. These are ideas that are older than I am, and they're way older than a lot of you are. These types of think tank documents come out every election year, every 4 years. Some conservative think tank or some liberal think tank or some centrist think tank or some radical think tank will release a manifesto, right, about what we need to do, what the party should do, right? And oftentimes the parties will roundly embrace these manifestos. The last person I can think of that wrote one of these was AOC, to her credit. AOC, when she came into office, had a manifesto in the form of the Green New Deal. She worked with a couple of other people in the House to draft the Green New Deal, and it had round kind of popular support amongst liberals. You guys remember that? You remember the Green New Deal being kind of a new thing? Nancy Pelosi was talking about it. Chuck Schumer was talking about it. It was all over the fucking kind of airwaves and the MSNBCs and all that, right? So I know that it's not evil and bad and wrong like Project 2025 is, but look how much of that Green New Deal got implemented. Look how much they actually cared when it came time to pass legislation. Oh yeah, what the fuck happened to that? What I just said happened to it. So I would say that Project 2025 for you should be looked at in two different ways. If you're a person that's concerned about it, here's how I would look at it. Number one, look at it as a guidebook to the type of thought process that exists in the extreme right. Okay? It's like a window into their minds. These are the things they're worried about. These are the things they want. And then second, realize that this type of thing, Project 2025, is largely red meat to the base. What I mean by that is the base is hungry, right? It's a beast. And if you don't throw it red meat, if you don't promise some crazy shit, if you don't take it a little farther than you want, the beast gets hungry. The beast starts pacing. The beast gets cagey. The beast starts thinking about whether or not the zookeeper is its friend or not, and then that becomes a problem, right? So red meat to the base is a political term for rhetoric that fires up the base that has really no basis in politics outside of that. Ooh. Ooh. It's okay, Hats Harbinger. It happens. Just catch up, buddy. Catch up with the rest of us, homeboy. Join us here in present time. Sounds like a good way of thinking about this. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on it. I guess it's not worth letting hang over my head. Well, it really isn't. I mean, you hating it. I mean, you can't fight a ghost. And right now, Project 2025 is a ghost. It's a ghost of legislative wish list / red meat for the base that will, very little of which will be accomplished legislatively, if any at all. Think of other initiatives. Think of the new contract with America that Newt Gingrich made, right? Newt Gingrich was a very, very popular Republican Speaker of the House when I was a kid. And he did this thing, New Contract with America. And it laid out a whole legislative agenda for Republicans to slash taxes and public spending and blah, 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 right? And none of it happened. All of it was either rolled back or just forgotten in the sauce. Some things from that political era did linger, some negative things. So I'm not saying it wasn't something to worry about. Hence, thinking of Project 2025 in two separate ways, neither of which puts it on your head, right? This is a look into the brain of conservative think tanks and conservative media figures and politicians. This is what they think people want. And it's red meat to their base. Please get into politics. I'm into politics, man. Everybody's into politics, right? In fact, you want to ask me? I'm doing the most politically relevant thing that a politician could ever do. I'm speaking out against my country. I'm using my freedom of speech, my constitutionally protected freedom of speech, to point at the emperor and say that he indeed has no clothes. There is nothing in the world more patriotic or democratic than dissent. It is the thing that sets us apart from most of the rest of the world. Dissent. Our right to dissent. Our right to call Nancy Pelosi a dried up old mummy that should go to jail for the rest of her fucking ancient life for insider trading. I can say that out loud. If I were to say that about certain government officials in other places, there'd be cops on their way to my house right now to take me away and re-educate my ass. Okay? Say what you want about America and the West, but we still have that. And it is, I consider, your patriotic duty to use it if you live here. The emperor has no clothes. The world is burning. These people should not be supported materially or otherwise. They should be shouted down as a rule. And the public should stop looking to the political process for their progress, because it's not coming from there anymore. They should start looking at their own hands and their neighbors and their coworkers. Start local, mutual aid. Start giving your time to something else, right? And then when you feel like you've established that, you've got a little community around you, think about going statewide with it. Think about finding an organization that fits you statewide or national, right? Get us a few steps closer to being able to put 3 million people in the National Mall and 1 million people on Wall Street. That's a small ask, but it would make a big fucking difference for the future. If we can get 3 million people to pack the entirety of the National Mall leading all the way up to the Capitol, it would be the international news story of the year. If we could do that simultaneously while having a mass 1 million man sit-in on Wall Street, it would change the fucking world. Look, this is not a good place for you to organize, bud. There's not going to be another Madison, Wisconsinite hanging around in here. And even if there is, how are you guys going to contact each other? Think about it. You need to look outside the internet. You can use the internet to find out what things are in the area. Like, what kind of nonprofits are there? What kind of protest groups are there here, right? What kind of mutual aid is in this area? But you're going to have to go in there and meet them and see what they do to know what they're about. So you got to touch grass. Are there any groups to start or join? If you want to give time, food banks always need people. Food banks always need people. And they are some of the most direct type of outreach to the neediest people in this country. So whether it's packing up canned food, or serving at a soup kitchen, that kind of delivery of cheap food meals to people who otherwise wouldn't have a meal, super needed. They're begging people, right? And that's just a local option. The IWW, I had problems with them back in the day as organizing because I don't know if they do it as much anymore. But back in the 2000s, when because they would protest out in front of Starbucks sometimes. They were trying to unionize the workplace. And my mandate was that I was supposed to have them like leave if they ever came in. But I would let them come in and get a glass of water if they were thirsty and shit. I didn't chase them off or hassle them, right? As long as they were respectful and didn't bring the protest and turn it into a sit-in, because I couldn't let that happen, right? I would have been, it would have been my job if I'd allowed that to happen. But they weren't doing, but they really, here's the problem that I had with the IWW. They led with the socialism foot. They had a like hammer and sickle, kind of like communist, socialist imagery on their flyers they were passing out. And that's part of the problem with the IWW is that a lot of the chapters of it are almost freelance. And so a lot of people will append their own fucking political, and I just don't think that like unionization needs to have the hammer and sickle anywhere near it. Even if there are prescriptions within that, obviously Marx kind of invented the modern labor union, but leading with that foot makes people run away screaming. Yeah, red imagery and the kind of like, yeah, you know, that's, but hey, I would rather you volunteer with the IWW, right? And I would rather you reach out to them than avoid them from what I just said. My problem is with their tactics. I think a lot of their individualized chapters and their local protest groups lead with the communism foot, and that's like fucking conversation stopper for about half of America or more. Yeah, but I mean, you know, that's the thing, is like the imagery matters. Leading with your red fucking foot and your red flag and your red rose and your shit, right? I get it. I don't have a problem with you sporting that necessarily, but your imagery bounces people off of you. You got it. It's not like that anymore, at least not with any of the organizers I've talked to. All right, well, fair enough. Like I said, part of the problem, I think, with the IWW is local chapters, right? There are a lot of local chapters that append their own politics to things and kind of have wide latitude to be IWW affiliated, but maybe not. Like, I think the messaging needs to be right. And right now, I don't feel like it is. Convinced of the, yeah, I don't know, Phoebes. I don't want to argue about it because I don't, like I said, I'm using knowledge that's like 10 years old or more now. Maybe you're right. Maybe things have changed. But what you just said doesn't make any sense. You expose them to the idea and then you bait and switch them into communism and shit and imagery. That's, you need to just get rid of it. Marx didn't care about his name being known by workers. Okay? Marx didn't care about his ideology as it was named being adopted openly by workers. He cared about workers, period. And there are so many people down south where you're at. You're in Mississippi or Missouri. I can't remember which one. And there are so many people that they see that fucking red flag and that's like communism. I'm out. Hell to the fuck no. Lead with your fucking best foot, and your best foot ain't that imagery. You might convince somebody to, yeah, this is right. All right, we'll take this leaflet, comrade, and you're fucked. Posters, the stickers, all that shit. Dude, if you have a bumper sticker on your car that says International Workers of the World and it's got recognizable communist imagery, you might turn people off to the very idea of IWW without ever talking to them about it. Why is Ideology crossed out? I can't find anything to explain what happened to your logo. Oh, I did that back in the day because this was a ban haven for Ideology when I would get like 2-week stream bans or whatever. I just haven't changed it. I need to come up with a spooky logo where I'm a ghost. A ghost! The ghost of Salty Smoke Past. It's okay. I think this topic is dried up. You're good. You're good. Topics don't always have to hang for fucking ever. And, you know, I think Phoebes and I could probably talk about it. You could inform me a little better. I'm just telling you what I know from back in the fucking day, right? When I dealt with the IWW as a dude that was working who had a mandate to keep them from fucking disrupting business, I tried to be cool to them. I didn't chase them off or hassle them or call the cops on them or anything. That being said, the imagery that they used, and it wasn't that long ago, this was back in, I think, 2012 or 13. It might even been more recent. 2014, I think, when we had a big IWW protest that went on for a couple of days. And there was communist imagery. There was hammer and sickle shirts. There was Che Guevara shit, you know. I sing you a song. You want to stay inside, buddy? Oh. Like it's too loud, Dad. Can we please? Oh, I always have to sing to these little animals we have, you know. Always making up little tunes with their names. I get feelings from them. It's like, Dee's been giving me pirate vibes this year because I've been doing the Salty Sea thing a lot. Dirty D from the Salty Sea, the salty, salty sea. I'd write a spooky poltergeist rap track for the channel since this girl's so much dope. I'm always singing to them and talking to them, and they're always like, Cricket will do some crazy shit, man. Cricket, like, he loves to, you know what Cricket's favorite thing is? He loves to remind me that Mom is his first. I swear to God, man. Because I don't think, because obviously he's cuddling with her, he's purring, sitting right on her chest, and she's petting him, and I'll walk into the room, right? And I'll see you, and you'll give me a smile, and I'll see you being cute with him, and I'll give you a smile and say, oh, you two are adorable. And then I'll look at Cricket, and he's like, and he just won't break eye contact. He's just like, and I'm like, dude, it's cool. I love her too, man. I know. We don't got to get brolic about it. He's like, da-na-na-da-da-da-da. Excuse me. Giving you the Kubrick stare. Yeah. That's how I take it, bro. I take it, it's like, you remember that there's a song called She's Mine? Back in the 90s, it was like an R&B sexy song that you would hear at the club. And it was like, I can't remember who sang it. Was it Genuine? Or no. It was He's Mine. It's He's Mine. So it was like a female artist, but I think of that when I look at Cricket. The lyrics were, he's mine, you may have had him once, but I got him all the time. I hear Cricket singing that with his psychic energy to me. I have the high ground, Anakin. I'm a little too thick to be Obi-Wan in episode 3, might I? A little too thick around the middle. Maybe someday I'll be in that zone, but I don't think so. Because Ewan McGregor's like, isn't he like 5'7" or some shit? Bro, that's a manlet to me. Not to be mean to you short kings. I'm just saying, that's somebody I could pick up like a toddler. Okay, I'm a big dude. I got big dreams and I do big things. How tall are you? I'm 6'1" and change.
No, Ewan McGregor's 5'10".
So, middle manlet. I could still pat him on the head without raising my hand above here. That's a manlet. That's a middle manlet, though. That's 5 inches taller than me. Well, yeah, I met you, Meds, but you're exceptionally short. Skinny queso. I'm not skinny, my friend. I'm about as fat as the moon. Aw, sweet little manlet. I put that on God, I put that on Squad, I put that on Mom, I put that on Gang. I don't think you're fat as the moon anymore. That is true. I saw myself in the mirror today. I've got one of those bathrooms that's really bad for a fat person. It's got like a wraparound mirror thing that shows you like 3 different angles of your bulgy ass body, right? And so I've learned not to even look in there when I go in there to shower. But I went in there today and I had to go, I wanted to brush my teeth before I got in the shower. It wasn't today, it was yesterday. And I saw myself standing there and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna indulge. And I looked and I was like, whoa, there's less of me. My gut's not as big, my ass isn't as flabby, my tits aren't as big, my arms aren't as fucking lunch lady. Like, there's less of me. I've gone like, I'm not tiny yet, or ever, probably. I'm not what I would call fit, but yeah. It's hard to see it, you know, when you have the picture of yourself in your head. Yeah, progress. Good progress. Yeah, dude, I got lunch lady arms like a fucking motherfucker, dude. Runs in my family. It's terrible. It's terrible, bro. If you're the least bit fat or obese in my family, your arms are those big, flappy lunch ladies. You're not a bodybuilder? Fuck no, bro. Fuck no. This angle is great, though. I'm going to use this forever. I'm never changing this camera angle, okay? People think I'm a bodybuilder from this perspective. Dope. Yeah, man. I hit it hard. Nah. Unfortunately, this big guy busted out both of his knees and his back is all fucked up. So the gym really, I can't really hit the gym like a lot of people want to. I do a lot of yoga and stuff. That's how I'm getting, like, yoga and walking is how I'm getting my like exercise week to week. Get swole, get ripped, get strong. I just have to be careful. Yeah, I do yoga. I do yoga 3 times a day. It's kind of like a religious practice as well, so. I mean, nobody can tell what's under the shirt. It could be muscles. True. But it ain't. It's flab. Core workouts to the extent that I can do them, yes. I do squats. I do rotational like stretches and yoga poses that build my core. You open your chakras with yoga? I guess, maybe. It does reset my whole fucking shit when I do it. Like, I'm gonna do it here in a minute. Because it's time for me. I do it like morning, midday, and night. Or at least I try to. Sometimes I'll only do it twice. My routine is to do my stretches, which takes about 5 minutes. It's not like a long thing, and it's not super heavy stretching. It's not like super like hard to do stuff. I'm starting from nothing, so I'm building. You know. You do lives on PC? Yeah, man. I did one last week where I had an argument with Vegan Gains. That was fun. So yeah, every once in a while I do them, but like I like to be out here, man. It's where I prefer to be. Can you do a PC stream in this vertical style? Yeah, you can. As long as you set up your OBS. Sorry. Oh my god. This strain right here is killing me, dude. It's so good, but fuck it, it's like a truck. It's like fucking strawberry cough or whatever. And I mean it. It's a really good strain, but fuck, it gets me coughing. Stop smoking. Shut up. Quit giving advice to people, man. Nobody asked. It's so sweaty. It's so hot out here. Anyway, I'm gonna go stand up and do my yoga. It's like a 3 to 5 minute break. Walk around a bit, stretch my legs, get my yoga done. I think you guys should do the same. I'll be back though, so don't leave. Just a break. Just a break. Get the blood pumping. I'll be right back. Oh, all right. That is always so nice. I never do that and feel like, damn, that was a bad idea, bro. Was there a fly chilling? Little bastard. Coming over here, getting all up in the camera. Whew. It hit the camera. Whew, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Chakras cleansed. Balance restored. No, yeah, I don't know. I don't feel the need to proclaim it from the mountaintops or whatever, but I recently adopted Zen Buddhism as a personal philosophy. Trying it. And I've incorporated some mindfulness meditation into my routine. And I'm looking to learn a little bit more about like religious home shrine observance because I want to make myself a shrine. But yeah, that's where I'm at in my crazy journey. Zen Buddhism is it, man. I'm too materialistic, but I respect it. Yeah, my materialism is going to be confronted, I think, but I am also not a super materialist. Like, I have nice things that I don't need. Those things may disappear from my life. Have you read the Tao Te Ching? I have read parts of the I Ching, which I believe is related. But I have not read all of the holy books of the religions. It's one of the things that I'm working on. Read the Bible. I'm relatively familiar with the Quran, although I have not read it cover to cover. I have not read the Talmud. I have not read the Bhagavad Gita. I have not read the Tao Te Ching or the entirety of the I Ching. What got you into Buddhism? Meditation. I've been doing mindfulness meditation since my 20s to help me with my mental problems. And I've been a long practicing meditator, I guess. And, as I got older and, just this year really has been a fucking kind of like strange year for me. A lot of good stuff, a lot of weird shit. And, honestly, I felt bored with my perspective. I wanted some like observance in my life. I didn't want it to be Christian. I didn't want it to be Muslim. I didn't want it to be observed in a church setting necessarily. I wanted it to be something I did privately, but something that I also let augment my philosophy in a positive way. And I landed on the doorstep of Zen Buddhism looking for comfort. I found Zen koans, and those, I still use those every day for comfort. And yeah. What got you in? Oh, yeah, I'm answering that question. Oh, koans are the best. They're like little stories that are designed not to promote active thought, but to slow it down to nothing. Like a Zen koan doesn't have the structure of a normal story, and it sometimes leaves you wanting more or less. It sometimes has a very obvious moral, and sometimes the moral is ambiguous or non-existent. Koans are super duper cool, super interesting, and I use them every day. I may read you guys some someday. They're very fun. But I'm looking to get into the ritualistic aspects of it a little more. I'm adding a little bit of ritual into my daily observances and stuff. But I really like the singing bowls, the incense, the shrine, the gong. There's a number of like religious observance tools, certain bells that are really like I love the tone of them. So yeah, they're designed to slow and interrupt thinking. And you know, they're endlessly interpretatable, but also endlessly void of interpretation. They're very cool. I'm a big fan of Alan Watts, the writer who introduced Zen Buddhism to the West in the mid-20th century. I recommend his books. Yeah, I've read Alan Watts. I've listened to a lot of his lectures. He was part of my journey to Buddhism, for sure. Frequency is key. That's actually like a nice little pun. My sister is Buddhist. Cool. Neat. You read the teachings of the Buddha? Some of them, yeah. Some of them. I'm talking about Siddhartha Gautama, yeah. I've read some of the teachings of Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha. When you understand Zen Buddhism, anyone can be a Buddha. So it's not like you're raising these figures from the past up to deify them. You're recognizing the life and story and legend of a person who attained nirvana, who attained Buddhahood. I meditate daily, yes. About a month ago, I got my hands on Alan Watts' entire audio collection. Been going through them little by little. Yeah, pretty fun. What happens when you meditate? Nothing. That's the great thing about it. Meditation allows me to stop the waterfall of constant thought and worry, the nattering of my mind, and it allows me to experience nothing. It allows me to go inward, calm my mind, calm my surroundings, calm my heart rate, calm my breathing. And I let those thoughts from the waterfall pass over and through me. And during that process, I focus on my breathing. And as a result of that, I attain a state of thoughtlessness. I attain the state of empty. Yeah? Mindfulness meditation is great. There are other forms of it, and I don't poo-poo anybody's trying them out. But mindfulness is how I learned, and it is what I've always used. Even though all AI can't have religious beliefs, Microsoft, Google, and IBM led me to Buddhism, which is very strange. Yeah, for sure. I think about death every day. You should. Death is a super important part of the life cycle, right? And it's a great driver of ingenuity and action in a person's life, both outward and inward. Memento mori, right? Remember death. Ever seen somebody with that on them, like tattooed or whatever? All that means is death comes for us all, and you should live every day like it could be your last, because it is, right? You'll not be the same person that wakes up tomorrow. It'll be slightly different, a slightly different collection of biological matter and a slightly different collection of thoughts and ideas. Every day you change. Every day you rot a little bit. Every day something that was passes away and something that wasn't comes into being. Yeah? Death is because of sin. Yeah, no. What sin did the fly that flew by me commit? And why is that fly's death any different than mine? He met his end, and I'll meet mine. My biggest problem with Buddhism is that it focuses on the ultimate goal being you turn into nothing. No. I mean, Buddhism, well, there are many different Buddhist practices, but reincarnation and the Dharma wheel are part of Buddhist observance. Yeah. And I find truth in it, even if I don't believe I will come back as another being, right? I believe that what is left of me will feed an ecosystem that helps to grow another being. I will never leave this place. What I am is of it, and what I will become will be of it, right? So I don't believe people die in the traditional sense of disappearing into nothingness and facing nothingness through mindfulness meditation. Makes it very, very welcoming. Not terrible at all. But a great change, a great event of change in your life, right? That you should know. I like your head. Cool. Please don't cut it off. I need it. If it makes you happy, it can't be that bad. I hate that song. Once you achieve enlightenment, you become a Buddha and enter nirvana, a state of not wanting. Yes. Wait, does your lungs look like poo? Does your lungs, wait, sir. Does your lungs look like poo? What's that guy? That guy is on one. That guy's having a day. Sir, does your lungs look like poo, sir? It's cool I can catch you. These phone streams must help people discover you quite well. They do. Yeah, man, this channel's growing. People are stopping by and hitting that subscribe button without even me really bitching about it, you know? But I do these a lot, but I take a lot from them. I take a lot of comfort from them. So, yeah. Skibbity bop bop bop. Yes, yes. Oh man, Ghost of Tsushima. That game has got me by the balls. I don't want to play anything. I am a fucking samurai, man. I'm chopping my way through Mongols like fucking crazy. Bastards. Those sons of bitches. And I look stylish while I'm doing it too. Yes. I didn't realize I wasn't subscribed to this particular channel. Consider me subscribed. Cool, buddy. Taoism is interesting. Yeah. Well, I've read a little bit of the I Ching. So I'm aware of it. Anyway, I can't fucking hang. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye.